Alrighty, what is going on today, guys? Volume was a little bit weird yesterday. Let me know if it doesn't sound good or sounds not good. I will try to adjust it. I think we're at a really good level right now for the sound quality, so that I'm happy with. Yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Always appreciate the likes. Subscribe if you guys are new. All of that. Let's see. So, who we have in the chat? What's up, B Baker? Shout out to B Baker. What's up? Yeah, buddy. What's up, Eric? Ronnie Coleman. Let's go. Yeah, it is B Baker. It is a pretty weird trading market. Very predictable this time of year. I mean, this is kind of the time of year where it's like, no shame in just sitting back, enjoying, seeing family, enjoying the small things, in life. So, yeah, I mean, that's ultimately that. I'm going to be back in Miami in a couple days. Excited to, kind of get back to the warmth and to a certain extent, although, it's probably down to this low 70s there. So yeah, let's see. Skywolf, why are fees so high? A lot of people are going long. A lot of people are degen longing, which usually when fees go this crazy high, you start to, you start to face reality a little bit. And let's just look at some crypto funding rates right here. And I want to just look at a few of these. Yeah, just insane. I mean, that's extremely high. More people are going long in Bitcoin than ETH right now. I do think ETH will generally continue to outperform Bitcoin probably over the next year to 2 years, to be honest with you guys. Probably around over the next 2 years, I think. If history kind of repeats, Solana funding rates are excessively high. We're hanging on by a thread right now, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But, I mean, people are trying to short BNB. That's the only one freaking people are trying to short. So if you were to go long, and this is bizarre, yeah, I've been buying some for my long-term bags and spot, but if you're trying to go long, BNB may be the lone wolf, the rogue lone wolf that may do it for you. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and that is weird. Why is this? Why is it green though? This one's green. Oh, okay, I get you. TRB, those are the only ones people are trying to short. Okay. So ultimately, I don't know if there's a distinct reason enough to go generally short on ETH. The green dot in the 2-day is pretty good. Other than that, though, it is, well, yes, green dot in the 3-day, that's freaking good too. That's why I don't want to short, you know what I mean? But we got to see, these may not confirm, especially if we do, well, 3 hours to confirm there. A conflicting weird market. I mean, if we do get the kind of bear div money flow coming out in the 8-hour, that generally could bring us down. It's not a surprise. It wouldn't be impossible to come up to 2,500 with these fees so high. Oh man, it's tough to say. It's kind of tough to say. I mean, I tried to do I got stopped out. I tried to do a scalp up to kind of this area with the double bottom back here with the 15-minute bull div, and it didn't give me what I needed. I didn't get quite to my first take profit. Got stopped out there, so it does happen. I do think the environment is getting more bearish. Oh, man, if I had to guess here, I'd probably lean to the bear side. That was kind of almost a freebie on what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. It's a tough week for trading. It absolutely is. This is where a lot of people get wrecked in the profits they made going upward, So be careful. I did have one I flop and groped on like a kind of a Cardano long, kind of took it out for a tiny loss, or a Cardano short, but now I'm kind of back in that. Details on that are in the Discord if you guys are interested. A lot of people are kind of relaxing right now. CBZ had a really nice trade in the Discord with, I believe it was Bitcoin Cash. Had a nice trade with that. He took some profits there, so if you guys are interested in that, link down below. So yeah, and bear div money flow coming out on your 2-day. Even your weekly is now confirmed a red dot. Money flow starting to come out there. So I guess overall, I would probably lean to the bear side. Blood diamond. I feel like a blood diamond combined with funding fees this positive is going to, kind of give us what we need for the downside. And what kind of trade could you make here? I mean, that's not a good risk reward ratio, but you could almost kind of spin a like 1-to-1 like this kind of, coming down to 45 or 40 and a half. I mean, you could do something like that down to that volume area low. I mean, you could, if you wanted to go low risk, high reward, starting to get to that point. But Yeah, that's ultimately what I'm kind of looking at right now, and you know, things could change, man. Things could absolutely change, but I don't know. Bitcoin looks more bearish. I think that the bear case is kind of, you know, among us right now. 42.5 holding strong. 42.5 holding strong right now. You know, for the short term, maybe those trigger waves bring you up a little bit higher. You do have the LXs. Yes, short term kind of looks like you may see some upward potential. May see some upward potential, potentially up to this area. Now, how could you trade that? Well, let's take a quick look here. Maybe you could do something like this. And that's a 101 right there. And I think that could play out. I think that could play out. So that's ultimately one of the possibilities here. Now, I want to look at Solana. It was below, you know, it does kind of look like you could jump up a little bit higher, maybe to 102 or something, similar to that Bitcoin kind of setup. And then if we do go like that, it's not a good risk reward ratio, but you probably could, yeah, you could get away, put the stop loss below there. You have a 101 like that, you might have a good shot with these trigger waves and such. You know, they may roll over. They may roll over. Keep that in mind. I mean, ETH looked good on my setup earlier. It looked pretty good on the, you know, 15-minute, you know, bull div. At the moment, I believe what else was going on? Gapped RSI is coming up on the 30-minute. Like, there was a good shot of this trade winning. It didn't win. I kind of got stopped out. So just be careful with that. You got a 22-minute bull div on Matic. I would say in the very short term, there's a decent shot of seeing some more recovery here, but oh man, on the macro, it does look, you know, you're hitting major points on a lot of these. You're hitting really major points. It kind of looks like you may see a pullback. It's in between. Yeah, it's in between. I wanted to look at Cardano. Trigger wave to the downside on Cardano. Double top right there. That could be a local top for a minute. You know, that could be a local top for a minute, maybe even on the way back to 50 cents or 46 cents. We'll have to see. It could take time to play out. Now, the bull case comes with the daily right here. So, man, a bit conflicting. A little bit conflicting. A little bit conflicting. A little bit of a, you know, kind of a tough type market, I guess. And yeah. And I don't know. You know, I would say with these funding fees, you're probably, if you're going to be swing trading, you're probably better off to let the exchange pay you to go short. You're probably better off to let the exchange pay you to go short, I would say. And by the way, if you guys are interested in trading, we added a new partner, BitMart. Link down in description below, along with the other exchanges. I got away with it without a VPN, I believe. You kind of have to, they ask you what your country you're in. You can't select one. Don't select one that's restricted, obviously. But let's just say, you know, you could become a Palau resident, and that's a nice little workaround that could be worth it. But you don't need an actual card as of yet. So that's a good option. They do list a lot of cool stuff on BitMart. Been messing around with them a little bit, so check it out. Link down below. They do have a decent deposit bonus. Let's look at HBAR, and then we'll look at, well, all right, to be fair, we'll look at Wild, then we'll look at, you know, HBAR. Wilder World. I'll look at this on MEXC, actually. Oh man, I think we looked at this the other day. Yeah, I mean, it's hitting off of this kind of major, you know, major area that we've rejected from multiple times. I mean, let's draw the line right here. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. So if history repeats here, we would likely potentially continue to reject from it. Now, it looks decent on your daily. It does look decent on your daily. If the trigger wave confirms, you may be coming up. But when you get to your 10-hour, when you get to your 12-hour, money flow coming down, blood diamond galore, I don't know. I think we may reject from here again. I don't know. This could be the disbelief phase where we pull through, though. Tough to say. Let's look at HBAR. Same type of deal. I mean, huge place 1, 2, 3 times. Rejected from that area. That weekly still looks good in the macro. Now, this could take time to play out. This could take time. You know, man. I don't know. I think if we do have a correction, it's not going to be that bad, and then we'll kind of go on about our way. I don't know. Very neutral here. very neutral here. That 6 hour is bearish though. Trigger wave to the downside, that 6 hours pretty bearish. So yeah. Got a nice turnout today, 56 viewers. Yeah, I mean it's a tough market to kind of read. A bit of a tough market to read. I mean, this was one kind of, yeah, the Doge. That's a big area for Doge too. See, I mean, that's a big area because look, that wick right there. Let's draw that line. See right there, that rejection. And you're fighting back and coming down for the bears. So that is generally kind of strong for the bears. Now, the daily trigger wave to the upside, that's kind of good for the bulls. So it's a double bottom type thing. Bring it back up to 10 cents. I don't know. A little tough to read this market, man. A little tough to read this market. That looks decent on a link. You're making a higher high almost. Interesting. Big area. I mean, your price still down what from all-time high? Let's see. You're still down 70%. 70% from all-time high, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. 3-day weekly still look good. 2-day still looks decent. I don't know if I would do anything with this at the moment. I just need more data. I need to kind of wait a little bit here. Bear div to form. I probably come back down here at some point. It's a tough freaking market to read right now. Bitcoin Cash, yeah, that was the one that Crypto Bull Zone took a short on and won. A scalp short, I guess. Bitcoin Cash. I mean, it looks good in the macro still. I mean, that freaking weekly looks pretty good. 3-day looks not bad. Bear div right there. I mean, things generally still look good in the macro. Things still look good in the macro. Now, where the hell is this going to end up? I think you're probably going to at least get to 500 or 600 in the next couple of years. Probably 500, and you could probably at least double in the next couple of years. So yeah, it's a polar bear, man. Long Bitcoin now. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, off of this trigger wave on the 15-minute, you know, only a couple minutes to confirm, 3 minutes to confirm. We're already freaking up there, though. That's a problem, man. We're already up. Yeah, it's like a lot of that move already happened. That's the issue. Could be a bear flag and you just break down, though, too. I don't know. A little tough to say here. Is that a bull div on your 30? No, but yeah, I don't know. That would have worked out. That trade setup I gave you earlier, that would have jumped. Well, we're not there yet, but you probably hit this area. So yeah, it's a polar bear, man. Accurate Components Corporation. So I think we did look at Matic, but I want to look at it again. Hitting a major point, you know, playing around with $1 right now. I don't know. I mean, you have, you know, your double bottom, your bull div on your 30-minute. Can this play out? I don't know. Maybe. That's not a bad risk-reward ratio up to there. Might be able to. Yeah, right to that. That could work. That could absolutely work. Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty big point that we bounced off of, I would say. You got the wicks right there. I don't know if it's necessarily worth marking, but decent point. I think it's an important point to hold as well. Tough to say right now, E-Gems, yeah. Tough to say. Sometimes I'm more confident than others. Money flow coming up. Yeah, same thing on XRP. That's kind of concerning on the 8-hour. I would say for most things you will continue to see a pullback, but then you'll recover, I think. I just want to look without the, just that price action purely. Yeah, I mean, get a higher high here. I mean, if you break higher, then you're looking at, yeah. You're looking at some high, those areas. Very range bound, I guess. That's what you start to notice here, just very range bound. Will it recover? Don't know. Oh, what's up, Crypto Grizzly? What's up, guys? By the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out the links down below to the exchanges. FAIRDESK, $100 bonus every week. We give to one lucky person. We announce the winners in the Discord every week for that. Good chances of winning it. MEXC, zero limit fees. Zoomex is down there below. And the newest one, BitMart, has some good pairs. You could basically get away on there without a VPN, but you gotta like kind of tell them you're in the place that you could get the easy easy residency. Palau, Republic of Palau. That's the one that you don't actually need to buy the card, but you get what I'm saying. You could kind of, and then if they finally ask, then you get the card. I think it's $200, and I think you probably, once it expires, you probably don't need you get the cheap one for 200, and that's probably all you need. Pretty good enough, but yeah. So yeah. ICP, sure. Now that's a pretty big point for that wick. Let's just put that there. The weekly looks good in the macro. Price action is decent, I would say. Trigger wave right there. Double bottom as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough market to freaking mess with right now. I mean, that's a good 101 right there. You might be able to long off of that trigger wave. I mean, that wouldn't, not impossible for that to work out. Looks like a nice double bottom. I mean, that looks like a good setup. But your freaking funding rates are probably going to send you, your funding rates are going to send you eat away at all the profits. I mean, I don't know. But I do kind of think you might get back to those areas. I do kind of think that. What was the other one? I'm just curious about some of the new ones that have been pumping, like Neon. Yeah, 360. Man, this is tough to... That looks good right there on the 2-day. Trigger wave here on the... that could be... This could be some decent kind of long setups here for some of these. Wow. If we were to kind of come back to that area, yeah. I still kind of feel like you're breaking structure, though. But yeah. since October, we've done about 60x. Wow. Neon. Render, that daily is, yeah, that daily's bearish. We were looking at that. Render is not one I would be messing with at the moment. That seems like a clean rejection from $5 or whatever. I think you're going to see a correction. In my opinion, though. If you guys are interested in Discord, a link down below. Now we got their 30, yeah. Oh, hourly bull div on, yeah, I believe that is an hourly bull. No, not quite a bull div, but Matic. Oh, okay. Right there to, that could work for Matic. I mean, you are bouncing off of a big area. I feel like you got to come up. Even if you're going to come down, you got to come up a little bit. Got to come up a little bit. So, yeah. I just wanted to look at ETH right now because ETH, yeah, you took that. Yeah, we wanted to hit that freaking, that kind of area right there. And we did finally, yeah, kind of come down to that point. And now you're getting bull divs and all that crap, yeah. I'm trying to think here. Oh yeah, we got to look at this. People are still shorting this, and it's pumping a lot. This is kind of a nice short squeeze. I kind of called this. I was telling you guys, you know, BNB does look very good against Bitcoin. I think I announced it in the Discord. I've been telling you guys that. BNB does look very good. Probably a nice bottom signal with CZ resigning. Speaking of exchange tokens, I wanted to look at crypto.com. And yeah, VWAP coming up. So it's like, oh man, trigger wave right there. It looks kind of good. I don't know. This is a weird freaking, because if you were to try to, right, that maybe, stop loss below there, or you could even be, that's a 101 about. Oh man, what do you do here? I don't know. I'd lean more for the bull case, I guess, and this one. Curious about this one. MX token, very, right there. That's the high so far. Monthly, yeah, monthly bear and dip, that's the high so far. I don't know. Kind of think you would come down farther here, but we'll see. And there's a lot of exchange tokens, as you guys know. This is the big get one. That's generally gone up. Wow. As long as the exchange has done well, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. Good altcoin to buy for spot. I mean, there's a lot, man. There's a lot of good long tail. I like Dot, I like Avalanche, I like Matic. I like Chainlink. I like Atom. Atom's, I think, a pretty good one. I like CRO for spot. I like BNB for spot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff right now I like. I mean, Atom looks really good in the macro for spot. There's a lot. Diversification. Diversification. So yeah. Let's see. ARB. Actually, let's look at TRB because that's the only other one people are shorting. Yeah, that weekly would probably end the fun. Yeah, I see some continuation there on the 16-hour. I have no idea where this is gonna end up, but I mean, I see potential continuation on the 16-hour. I mean, where could we, kind of estimate where we could end up? I want to see there, yeah, 258 and then 330, I guess. Obviously, 300 is going to be a big psychological level. You do have that target around, yeah, that we kind of almost hit. So, yeah. Buy targets. I don't really set limit orders for long-term buys, but I would definitely be DCAing at those points. Render. I think it can come down in the short term. I think long term it'll do well along with a lot of other alts in the next 2 years. Hmm. We were looking at ICP. It looks pretty decent, I think. It was, or I forget what the hell ICP looked like, but yeah, I mean, it does look like you could continue forward. It's just the funding rates are just insane right now. The SPY was trying to hit all-time highs. I think that's worth looking at. Kind of looks like, yeah, if you get that weekly bear div, there are some concerns here, but the monthly does look decent. So, yeah, the thing with the monthly is if you do, just roll over and get a red dot, then that starts to look more bearish. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that the 3-day and the weekly bear divs kind of could be concerning, but the monthly green dot is good. I do think there's definitely some type of sell wall at the previous all-time high. Storage A. Bear div, stuff coming down. That was somewhat of a significant point, I would guess. Kind of significant area that we kind of rejected from. Bear div money flow coming out with on the 3-day. I would say that's more bearish. I wouldn't mess with this for that reason. I don't know what this does, what it is, but I would say it's even though weekly red dot with hitting a major point just below $1, kind of rejection from $1, I would say more bearish. Yeah, it's bizarre right now. NASDAQ still above previous all-time high. Bear div kind of forming. You may eventually get up to these higher places. I mean, we got to see. I almost feel like this looks better. Yeah, this definitely looks a little bit better than the S&P 500 at the moment. Curious about this is what's interesting, yeah, because you're hitting that major point. You're not seeing any major signs of the NASDAQ going to crash against S&P 500. So I think as long as you remain out of a recession, you probably will outperform the S&P 500. And if you do break upward here, I wonder what type of, or let's draw a little something, let's be conservative with it. Another 18% over the next couple of years, maybe. Interesting. Satoshi Nakamoto. You fools don't know it's going to, it's my chart, you fools, you fools. And never will explain like what's going to happen based on the chart. Oh man, I just love it. Everybody's so like narcissistic. Like, I'm right, I know everything. You Near looks like you could get some relief. I mean, you're still fierce rejection off of like a big area. 18%. And there is no second best. Yeah. Yeah, AZTV, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I mean, I think that we will eventually test the 3940. I feel like we have to, but we'll see. Anything can happen. I mean, if something happens that just makes a lot of people go short, then we're kind of in the green. I think this could keep going down. I think near could keep going down. Big point, big point. Losing $1 again, I'm at it. Yeah, let's look at injunctive. This was a setup I gave you guys yesterday, and this so far it's playing out well. I mean, the main bull case is going to be this trigger wave bringing you back up, but I mean, it's up so. This is tough because you're just in freaking, complete like, price discovery mode. I would say more bearish, bear div on the 3-day. Most likely you should see some type of correction. And he pumped up, right? What was this from here, from September? 500%, yeah. Low holiday volume, yeah. It's always going to be harder to trade. It's like this whole week is where the economy is kind of shut down. I mean, nothing too much happens usually. I think into the new year when people kind of get back into the groove, then you kind of, you kind of start to get better. Yeah. What time does the Asian session open? Is it 9 p.m. Eastern? I don't know. We're coming up a little bit, like I've been saying we might. I don't imagine funding fees would come that much lower. I think they would take some time to really lower down and keep the market more healthy. And I do think we probably need to come down for that. When would that happen? Probably sometime into early New Year. You know what I mean? Probably sometime into the new year. I would assume. I would guess. Cardano right now. Man, some of these are weird. Trigger wave right there. I mean, that's a bullish price formation, I would say, kind of that bull pennant type thing, but you know, they don't always play out. You know, they don't always go the way, you know, we would hope they would. You know, I would like to tell you it's just going to break upward from here, but funding rates, huge level. I mean, 90 cents, downside target. I would kind of guess 45 would be a lot more likely target. 26% correction. I mean, it's pretty typical. I don't know. January 1st is when we could see the breakout. We could be more range bound until then, particularly. I mean, if you were to go... I don't know. TRB, that's the one everybody's trying to short. We were looking at it. I don't think it's time to short it just yet. Could be wrong, though. Filecoin, I think it's pretty good in the macro. It is hitting a major point, though. Weekly, you know, money flow is decent. Strong there in some areas, and it doesn't look bad. I think it could generally continue forward. Nice bubble pop pattern. I think you'll eventually get up to 10 bucks or something at least, and then we'll see how it looks there. Yeah, collecting funding fees usually, especially when they're this high, usually does work out, especially if you're in a swing trade. For example, if you're in a swing short, usually, I mean, for ETH, you would have got stopped out above this wick, but ETH was looking like it would outperform Bitcoin anyway. Vitalik did some shit. I mean, kind of a unpredictable thing that brought that up higher. I do think ETH probably is bottomed against Bitcoin. I do think even if we crash down to the frickin' low 30s for Bitcoin again, I don't think we may not go below this wick. I know it's a bold statement, but I'm looking at history. I'm looking at the charts. I think we could be bottoming out against Bitcoin. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I think. Money flow was deep like it was, you know, back here. I think we're, you know, getting diminished returns for how much it does outperform Bitcoin, you know, in the bull markets. But I would assume you probably could get at least up to this point, you know, 135, maybe up to 200, maybe play around with that high right there, which I think if you can get to that high right there for ETH versus Bitcoin, let's say you get to that high sometime in mid to late 2025, I think that is a beautiful sell signal, pay off your mortgage, you know, get the hell out of crypto for a little bit. That is a beautiful place, I think. It could be more of a, you know, maybe a little bit less than there. Let's take this high from that. You know, maybe you just get up to here. Maybe you get close there, tease, you don't quite get there. I think as you approach that level, that's where the time is to probably get out of crypto. I think that's the time it is where the mania phase and all that. That's my kind of main guess here. That could be a good kind of sell signal in general. And I just want to see the trajectory here. If we're looking at like end of, I mean, this was at the peak, right? Or, oh, I didn't even realize, shit, I didn't even realize that. That was June. It bled that much there. It didn't even, that wasn't even fucking close to, excuse the language. Where was this? This was in June of 17. June 25, yeah. I mean, that would be the place to kind of mid 25 would be the place to probably start DCing out of the market. I would guess ARB. Let's take a look. The big point is a little bit higher than where we are right now. 2-day and 3-day are indicative of potential continuation, even the daily. 12-hour, yeah, I would say that looks decent too. As you get to the 8-hour, it's still decent, but if you get that bear div, that's where it gets concerning. 6-hour and below is where it gets more concerning. That could be a tease. You might not get up to $1.74 or whatever, $1.75. I don't know if I would be trying to go long at the moment. I think you eventually will break out of this and go all the freaking way up to like, you know, $4 at some point. That could be a good goal for the next like year and a half, $4 or something. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Probably going to wrap it up in a couple minutes, guys. We've been on 45 minutes. If you have any other requests, super chats, any amount. I always look at stuff for that. So yeah, but now ETH kind of bleeding. I think the Bitcoin kind of swing short is kind of where it's at. Some of the alts do look good. I mean, it's not impossible for Bitcoin to go down while some of the alts pump a little bit more, like the ones that I showed you some bull setups on. But I don't know. I think the swing shorts are where it's at right now for the most part. And yeah, that's just my opinion here. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Always like to give you something, give you something. What was your request if I missed it? Did you have any requests I didn't look at? I mean, let's just do I want to just do for you guys maybe a little bit of Matic BCT. Yeah, Matic BC. So some of the Bitcoin evaluations, I'm pretty, yeah, I mean, this is, I think, a no-brainer, guys. This is, I mean, I haven't looked at this in a minute because it's just been such a no-brainer. Like, I think this is a very highly likelihood that you have bottomed against Bitcoin. I mean, this, for a lot of these, Cardano too. And this is, I mean, just let's look at how big of a place. I remember I was talking about in February 23 that this would likely bleed against Bitcoin. Some people laughed at me. Some people took it seriously. But I mean, hopefully we stay in this trajectory. Hopefully we stay in this trajectory and we do something around of this nature. Where did it peak out? Okay, June of, a lot of these may peak out in the middle of 20, yeah, something like that. It could take some time based on the 4-year cycle, but yeah, I mean, how much would this, ooh, a good one, maybe even more, maybe it breaks up higher. Wouldn't surprise me. It looks like very good. The weekly, everything looks, a lot of these look very good against Bitcoin. This is the time we've been waiting to kind of convert Bitcoin to alts, to buy alts of fresh money, things of that nature. It's called Joe. Hitting a big point. Bear div for me on the weekly. I don't know if this looks too good in my opinion. Could be wrong, but I don't think it looks too good overall. So yeah. Trigger wave forming right here in the 15 minutes. So, I mean, now we're kind of, that's could be a bear pennant. And to trade a bear pennant, you want to get the wick right there. If you do a stop loss above there, that's a good risk reward ratio. I mean, if you want to be more, I mean, it's a 101 up there. That could play out. I mean, it could keep going down. We're in a slightly different environment. So that's what we gotta, pay attention to there. So yeah, a few other things we'll look at quickly, like some metals, stuff of that nature. Gold, I think the important point for gold that we need to, kind of hold is obviously these highs right there. And I think we might, definitely think we might. I think it looks decent overall. It takes a hell of a long time usually for anything to play out with it though. I think the monthly looks good in silver. I think the same thing about silver, just freaking boring, but I think, I think overall it will continue forward. So yeah. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out FAIRDESK down below. Funding fees are outrageously high in FAIRDESK. If you're trying to short, it could be a good option for you. Check out my link down below. Got a really good shot at getting the $100 trading bonus. There's also an additional deposit bonuses as well with my link. MEXC is great as well. Zoomex great as well. There was some FUD about MEXC withdrawals. I've never had a problem withdrawing from MEXC. I'd recommend you guys, spread around. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe you have one account for shorting, one account for longing, or one account for scalp trades, one account for swing trades, things of that nature. There's a lot of, different ways to do it, but just don't keep all your eggs in one basket. BitMart's another one I started messing around with a little bit. There's a lot of interesting coins on there. If you guys are interested, link down below. It's another one that's not too up your butt with the KYC just yet. You kind of have to lie and tell them you're in like an okay location. I would recommend Republic of Palau since you could get an ID for there. You didn't hear this from me though. I may do that, and we've been talking about that. So yeah. Let's see. We can look at TIA. I'll take a quick look at TIA. Yeah, I think it's kind of maybe done for a minute. Bear divs on the... So this is a big point. Now, if we lose this frickin' point right here, that's where all hell breaks loose. If you lose that point, you're probably going to come down to this area, about around there. I would assume, I would guess. So yeah, 970. Or if you're in an okay location, yeah. United States, they give you some big balls, Got to be careful with that. So yeah. It's Market Cipher. Link down below if you guys are interested. My favorite indicator. But yeah, it's kind of looking like that funding rates are going to really start to play out and punish the crazy degenerate longs, I think. I think that's going to happen. It could take more time. There are some bullish formations here and there, but I think we're going to start to punish the degenerate longs. So yeah. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys are interested in the Discord, link down below where we give a lot of really good trade setups. I give stop losses, entry points, take profits. Obviously, I'm not right 100% of the time, but it is a really good community. Crypto Bullzone, Atlantic Core, KMAC, a lot of good stuff in there. Check it out if you guys are interested, and check out the exchange links down below. All right, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day.